So, thank you for speaking with us at times now. Bangladesh is currently witnessing a fresh spate of violence following the death of Sharif Osman Hadi, a prominent leader of the July uprising. First of all, how do you look at the current situation on ground, and what, in your view, triggered this renewed unrest?
You see, the government in place, the illegal interim regime, had provoked this in a sort of very planned way. Two of their close supporters, former or recent former ministers of Yunus government, Mr. Mahfouz and Asif, they have come out in public and have called for blood and have demanded that dead bodies are taken in response to the dead body of Mr. Hadi. Mr. Hadi, whatever has happened to him, it appears that it was an infighting. One of his close associates apparently had taken the action that he or she had done. So, but then the government, the illegal government, wants to use that as an excuse to continue their chaotic management of the state, and that's what they have done. It was planned. It was declared openly to the public that they must rise up and take up weapon and attack which establishment which they considered as against the spirit of their extremist Islamist revolution.
Do you believe the interim Yunus government has failed to contain the uprising and maintain law and order situation, or are these developments beyond government's immediate control? How do you see it?
It's not that they have failed. They have instigated it. They have planned it. They have masterminded it, and they have deployed it. How did we manage to regulate these extremists for 15 years? It is the same state apparatus, same security establishment that we had used to manage the society at large. To keep the country stable. So they have planned it, and they are now implementing what they have planned.
So, protests following Hadi's death quickly transformed into anti-India demonstrations. Reportedly, pelted stones at protesters pelted stones at Assistant High Commissioner's residence, and also targeted the partially demolished home of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. So, how do you interpret this pattern of violence and symbolism?
Again, if you look at their speeches, the speeches given by the Yunus associates, Sarji Shalom and Mahfouz, who was the information minister until 48 hours back, they are the ones who are calling for an attack on Indian high commissions across the country. So it's not that it is a spontaneous reaction. They have stopped law enforcement officials and the security officials, the personnel, from taking any measure to safeguard these foreign missions. My home last night was completely burned down. Where I am from, in Chittagong, the Indian High Commission's home was nearly going to be demolished, but the local people, they have come out and resisted these extremists. If civilians, locals can come out and stop these goons, hooligans, extremists, why can't the law and order officers do the same? Because they're not being given order. They're being asked to stand still and watch the drama unfold.
Sir, several media houses, including Pratham Alo and the Daily Star, were reportedly vandalized and set on fire. What does this indicate about the press freedom and the safety of journalists amid this current turmoil?
Safety of journalists under Yunus's regime has always been precarious from day one. They've arrested so many journalists, and just 5 days back, a senior journalist was arrested by the detective branch of police on terrorism charges, where his only fault was criticizing the government on national televisions. I mean, he didn't plan anything related to terrorism, whereas the terrorists are out on the street and being, asked to cause maximum chaos and anarchy. So the government is literally assisting the terrorists, the extremists. It is a state-sponsored pogrom.
Sir, given the prevailing situation, do you think Bangladesh can realistically conduct free, fair, and violence-free elections?
They don't want a free fair election. I mean, from the very beginning, they want to stop us and the political parties who were represented in parliament in the past. So they only want a handful of political parties, one being their own NCP, the other is Jamaat Islami and BNP, just 3 or 4 political parties from the mainstream to take part in the election. So they are simply going ahead with the plan that they have already had.
So
So it's not going
lastly,
to be free and fair.
lastly, sir, what will be the next step of Awami League?
Awami League is with Awami League is working with the people in the ground. Most of our activists are there. The grassroots is now inspired to resist these criminals. The only problem is they are being assisted by the certain section of the law enforcement and the security officials. If that stops, these people will not be able to stand even a day against Awami League's political muscle. Now they are being assisted by the armed forces. So if that continues, it will be tantamount to civil war if we resist them. So we don't want civil war. So we are trying to avoid a civil war-like situation, but we want a political protest and political, resistance.